The dark web is a place where the most twisted and disturbing things reside. The dark web is not for the faint of heart, for it's a place where the darkest of human desires manifest in ways you can't even imagine. Some people use the dark web to buy and sell things that are illegal, like drugs, weapons, and even human organs. But there are other sites that are even more disturbing, sites that involve torture, murder, and even cannibalism. These are not for the faint of heart, and entering them can leave you feeling haunted. So yeah, it can get a little dark. The dark web provides privacy and security via encrypted browsing and messaging. Users can access it through a specialized browser like Tor, which encrypts data and routes it through servers, protecting from online surveillance. It's crucial for individuals valuing their online privacy, as they can browse and communicate without leaving a trace, but caution and best security practices are necessary as it attracts cybercriminals and hackers. In this video, I'll cover how to access the dark web, what tools to use, and the configuration. So let's go ahead and get started. To enter the dark web, you'll need a special browser called Tor. You can download Tor at torproject.org or just learn more about it there. This browser allows you to access hidden websites that aren't indexed by search engines. You don't want to run Tor directly on your browser because your information could get leaked to the dark web. On top of that, if you access Tor directly from your browser or your host computer, any activity or files that you download can be stored on your hard drive. So in case someone gets a hold of your hard drive, your activity can be exposed. On the main Tor project website, we see that we can download the Tor browser directly from their website. This isn't something you want to do just because of the privacy concerns we mentioned earlier. Scrolling down, we see some of the key features of the Tor browser shown. Visiting the manual page, we get to see exactly how Tor works if we scroll down a little bit. So Tor works by sending your traffic through 3 random servers, also known as relays, in the Tor network. By doing this, you're able to hide your activity and the websites that you visit from your ISP or internet service provider. On top of that, if anyone tries to see your connection, they just see that you're coming from the Tor network instead of showing your real IP address, unless you do something to identify yourself on the dark web. Next, we'll want to download Tails. You'll want to install Tails on a USB stick where the OS will use the memory of the USB stick, thus not using your hard drive or storing any data on your physical host. Tails OS is a privacy-focused operating system that routes all internet traffic through the Tor network to provide anonymity. It doesn't store any data on the computer's hard drive and leaves no trace of activity. It's popular among those who value their privacy online, including activists, journalists, and whistleblowers. To download Tails, you'll want to visit tails.boum.org. This is the main website for the Tails operating system. On the home page, you see some of the features of the Tails operating system, how Tails works, and how to install Tails if you want to learn more. So we'll go over to the Install Tails tab. We see you can install Tails on Windows, macOS, Linux, and the terminal. The best way to install Tails and to use the Tails OS is by downloading it for USB sticks. So we'll go ahead and go to download only for USB sticks. Then you'll download the latest USB image over here. You'll want to use the Tails operating system via USB stick and not downloading it directly onto your host computer. For demonstration purposes, I'm running Tails as a virtual machine on VirtualBox. Using Tails on a virtual machine still gets stored to your disk. Basically, what you do on Tails may or may not be recoverable on your hard drive. First, we'll want to see that we have internet connectivity by going to this icon over here, whether being wired via Ethernet or wireless via Wi-Fi. In my case, we're connected via Ethernet. And once you get connected, you'll see this Tor connection pop up on your screen. Let's go through the steps to set up our Tor connection. First, you'll want to select Connect to Tor automatically, and then Connect to Tor. This will take a few minutes to load, so you can take a coffee break, stretch, or just sit in silence before we dive on in. You'll now see that Tor connected successfully. It failed initially on using the Tor without bridges, but we connected to Tor successfully with bridges, so now you can start the Tor browser. From here, your Tor browser is now loaded. On a note, some may say not to full screen your browser just because it can expose the size of your actual screen, like your monitor screen size, if that helps. But for this case, I'm going to continue using Tor browser in full screen just because this is for educational purposes. With the Tor browser loaded, you see it takes us directly to the Tails website. Now I want to set our security level. On the top right of the browser, you'll see this little shield icon. Go ahead and click it and it shows that we have standard security. We'll want to change that. Shown are 3 security levels: standard, safer, and safest. To be safe, we'll want to select the safest option. This will disable websites with malicious intent from executing malicious code against us and hacking into our machine, so never run JavaScript for any reason on the dark web. Next, you'll always want your Tails OS to be up to date. The beautiful thing about booting from USB is that when Tails boots, it'll notify you that there's a new version out, so that way you can quickly update it. Taking a look at the browser, we'll go ahead and open a new tab. We can see that Tor uses DuckDuckGo as its default search engine and not Google, which we're all probably used to. Searching for cute puppies may seem to load slowly, but that's because we're going through 3 different relays. The internet gets a little slower, but that's the trade-off for privacy. The website we load may look a little strange because we disable JavaScript, fonts, and other features, so it looks a little more basic. And then we can go ahead and open the link in the new tab. Top level domains that we've seen before, like .com, .org, is the ClearNet. This is what you've seen before and can access from a regular browser on the ClearNet. When we want to access a website on the dark web, we'll need to use a .onion address. There are search engines built for Tor that will allow you to search for .onion sites. It's harder to search for .onion sites on DuckDuckGo in my opinion. So next what we'll want to do is type in AHMIA or ahmia.fi, hit search. This is the ClearNet version. Now that the website has loaded, we can see the AHMIA.onion address, which is the more secure option. Browsing on the ClearNet is less secure and less private, so we'll want to go ahead and click on this .onion website. And again, it may take a second or two to load. Looking at the URL, we see that we have the .onion website, so now we're using a more private URL, and now we're actually using a search engine on the dark web. Now let's go ahead and search for a website. Let's say Facebook, which is used by a lot of people. Go ahead and hit enter. May take a second or two. Now we can go ahead and just open the first link in the new tab. Go ahead and wait for that to load. Now we see the Facebook page for the dark web. Just by looking at the URL, we see it's a Facebook, all this random stuff, and then .onion. And I wouldn't recommend using Facebook on the dark web, but if you want to find out if this is an actual Facebook page, because there may be some onion websites out there that may look like Facebook, which really isn't, you can do a little bit of Googling, or you can use the DuckDuckGo browser within Tor to find out if this is the actual .onion address. You can just do a little research and then you can figure that out. So that being said, you'll always want to click on a website that you know is safe. You never want to go on a random website and click on random things or download a file. In case you do download a file, you want to quickly disconnect from the internet just by coming over here and just turning this off. So turning the wired connection off. In case it's malicious, it won't be able to reach out to the internet. And back on the AHMIA search engine, we see just how dark the dark web can get. You see hackers for hire for Facebook accounts, hack Facebook account. So there's a lot of Facebook hackers for hire over here that you can see. These are just some of the things that you might come across. So there you have it, a glimpse of the dark web. Be cautious and please use the dark web for privacy and ethical purposes. This video is just for educational purposes, so go ahead and stay safe and happy hacking.